Whatever the agreement that takes between the consignor and the consignee, we call as consignment account. We are going to pay the commission. So in the examination, this will last for 5 marks. If there is any loss, that loss should bear by consignee, not by the consignor. Is very careful. When the consignee makes the sale, then only we can say the goods have been sold by the consignee. Definite question from the examination point of view. Hello my dear student, I am Dr. B.S. Subramaniam, called by name Dr. B.S.S., Professor in Commerce and Management, Vidyashram First Aid College, a Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. I am going to hand Financial Accounting 1, first semester, BBA. The session goes in favor of accounting for consignment transaction. It is nothing but a consignment. I am going to explain what is actually consignment is there. So, before going for actual figure, if I am the owner, if I want to sell the goods in other states or other places, I will appoint an agent who can sell the goods on behalf of me at the risk of me. So there is an agreement between the two parties. In consignment, there are two parties. One is the consignor and the consignee. Consignor is the owner, consignee is the agent. Whatever the agreement that takes place between the consignor and the consignee is called consignment. I am going to explain in detail. So, introduction here, consignment is a contract, this is a contract, where the goods are sent by the principal, that is the owner, to his agent to be sold on his behalf and at the risk in a return for a fixed rate of return. Who sends the goods? The principal. The owner will send the goods to the agent will sell the goods on behalf of the owner at the risk of the owner for a commission. Fixed rate of means commission. The principal is known as consignor. The principal is known as consignor and the agent is known as consignee. Goods sent is known as consignment account. So we can say that consignment is a contract between the two parties. In a two party, who are the two parties are? One is the consignor and the consignee. The agreement between the consignor and the consignee be called as consignment. Owner is called the consignor, the principal is called the consignor and the agent is called consignee. Whatever the agreement that takes between the consignor and the consignee we called as consignment account. We can move on. Before that I will explain consignment. In consignment, we got two parties. One is the consignor. He is called the owner. Another is called consignee. He is called the agent. So, what is consignment? It is an agreement between the consignor and the consignee for a particular job to be done. So, consignor will send the goods to consignee. So, what is consignment? It is a contract. It is an agreement between the two parties. Which are the two parties are? One is the consignor, another is the consignee. Consignor is the owner or principal, where the consignee is the agent. Whatever the agreement that takes place between the consignor and the consignee is called consignment. So, consignment is a contract, an agreement between the two parties. Which are the two parties are? One is the consignor, another is the consignee. Whatever the agreement that takes place between the consignor and consignee is called consignment. So, consignor will send the goods to consignee. Consignee will sell the goods on behalf of at the risk of the consignor for a commission. So, commission is only an agreement between the two parties, consignor and the consignee. He may say that up to 1 lakh I will pay 10% commission, more than 1 lakh up to 2 lakh I will pay 12% commission, more than 2 lakh up to 15 lakh. We can say that more than 2 lakh up to 5 lakh they may 15%, more than 15% gas now will get the 20% commission. It's only an agreement between whom? Consignor and the consignee, between the owner and the agent. So what is consignment now? It is an agreement between the consignor and the consignee. Consignor is called the owner, Consignee is called the agent. The agreement which takes place between the owner and the agent is called consignment. Consignor is the owner, which is called also principal. Consignee is the agent, the agreement. The person who sends the goods to agent to be sold by him for a commission is called the consignor. Who sends the goods? Consignor will send the goods to consignee. Consignee has to sell the goods on behalf of at the risk of the owner for a commission. Then consignor owner, he sends the goods to consignee for sale. So what is the duty of the consignee? He has to sell the article on behalf of at the risk of the consignor for a commission is called consignment. So we'll move on, slowly we'll move on. The person to whom the goods are sent for sale commission is called consignment. The person who is going to receive the particular goods from the consignor is called the consignee. Consignee only receives the goods from the consignor. Whatever the instruction given, full permission to consignee, he say, I will sell the goods, don't worry, but we must pay the commission. The consignee is an agent. He sells the goods on behalf of consignor for a commission. He sells the goods on behalf of the consignor at the risk of the consignor for a commission. So who are the two parties? One is the owner, one is the agent. Owner may be in Mysore and the agent may be in Bangalore. He is an expert in selling the particular article. So we will appoint one agent who can sell the goods on behalf of the consignor at the risk of the consignor for a commission is concerned. Commission is one an agreement between the two parties, which are the two parties are consignor and the consignee is considered. We'll move on. Now, we are going to pay the commission. So, in examination now, this will ask for 5 marks. What are the types of commission we got? What is actually commission is? Commission is a consideration to the agent for the sale of goods on behalf of one. So commission is a compensation payable to agent who can sell the goods on behalf of the owner. He will get some consideration that is called commission, who will sell the goods on behalf of at the risk of the owner. The goods have been sent, for that he will get some consideration. That consideration we called as a commission, we say. It is a consideration given by the consignor to the consignee for sale of goods on behalf of the consignor. Who will give this commission? Consignor will give the commission to the consignee who can sell the goods on behalf of means on behalf of the consignor at the risk of the consignor. So consignee will sell the goods on behalf of the consignor at the risk of the consignor. We must read that. For that he will get some consideration. That consideration we call as commission. Then the consignee gets 3 types of commission. Which are the 3 types of commissions are? One is called ordinary commission. Number 2 is called deal creditor commission. Number 3 is called overriding commission. Which are the 3 types of commission? Ordinary commission, deal creditor, D-E-L-C-R-E-D-R, deal creditor commission, overriding commission. I am going to explain one by one. First one, ordinary commission. Ordinary commission is a type of commission given by the consignor to the consignee for selling of goods on behalf of consignor. It is given both in cash, both on cash and credit. So he say this is nothing but a regular commission payable by the consignor to consignee. If say that if we sell the goods, I will pay about 10% commission or 6% commission. It's only an agreement between whom? Consignor and the consignee. Consignee will sell the goods on behalf of the consignor and he will get some commission that is called ordinary commission. Regarding this deal creditor commission, it is an extra commission payable by the consignor to consignee. In ordinary case, when the goods have been sold by the consignee, if on behalf of or the risk of the consignor, we are saying, by chance if some losses occur to the consignee, that loss should be borne by the consignor, not by the consignee. Here this is the most important word here, no? Consignee will sell the goods on behalf of the consignor at the risk of the consignor. Here now this word is consignee will sell the goods on behalf of the consignor at the risk of the consignor. If there is any loss incurred, that loss should bear by the consignor only. But when that loss we called as bad debt. Here in deal creditor commission, If there is any loss occurred, because we could not recover any money from the particular customer is occurred, it is nothing considered as a loss, which is considered as a bad debt. So that when this commission is payable, so the responsibility goes in favor of the consignee. If there is any loss like bad debt, that should be borne by the consignee, not by the consignor. This is an important point. Here I will explain. It is a type of commission paid by the consignor for increase the sale and to encourage the consignee to make credit sales. So the consignor provides an additional commission, generally known as deal clearer commission. Here, an extra commission is given by consignor to consignee. When this commission is payable by the consignor to consignee, more responsibility goes to consignee. When he sells the goods on credit transaction, the particular customer becomes the debtor and we becomes the creditor. If there is any loss, bad debt, if the particular customer run away, he dies. If the consignee is not in a position to recover that particular money, that is nothing but a bad debt. That bad debt should bear by the consignee, not by the consignor when deal clearer commission is paid. Regularly we paid about 5% commission, deal clearer commission another 2%, 7% you are doing the favorable. If there is any loss, that loss should bear by consignee, not by the consignor. Is very careful. If this commission is not payable, if there is any loss like bad debt, that should be recovered or that should be bear by consignor, not by the consignee. When deal clearer commission is paid, an extra commission is paid, if there is any loss, that loss should bear by consignee, not by consignor. So who is safe? Consignor is very much safe, and consignee take more interest on this sale, because if there is any loss, that loss should bear by him. So he will take care of them. So in the previous only an ordinary commission, he will sell the goods on behalf of at the risk of the owner. If there is a loss, that loss should bear by the consignor, not by the consignee. If the deal clearer commission is payable, that loss should bear by consignee, not by the consignor. That's the most important point. Then we will go to overriding commission. It is an extra commission allowed by the consignor to the consignee to promote the sale at higher price than specified, or to encourage the consignee to put hard work in introducing the new product in the market. So it is one more extra. First is ordinary commission, then we have got deal clearer commission, then you have over. It is an extra commission payable by the consignor to consignee to encourage the consignee to sell the new product at a higher price. See, so that he will also get the more commission. No, who will get? Even the consignee also get the more commission. He can enjoy the commission. Who will enjoy the commission? The consignee can enjoy the more commission, because by selling the new product on the cash basis or credit basis, this one sentence saying commission, consignee promote the sales at higher price. We want to promote the sale higher price. When you sell the goods at a higher price, the profit goes in favor of the consignor, and also consignee enjoys the more commission here, and the consignor enjoys more profit. Consignee enjoys the more commission is there now. It is an extra commission. Then specified to encourage the consignee, to encourage his hard work of the consignee. If you put a youngster now, he can put a hard work and get the more commission. Do work and work, get the more commission. So says the consignor, you are a youngster, go to the market to market and find out the new customer. Sell that higher rate, you get the more commission. Who inform? The consignor will inform to the consignee. You sell the good at higher price, get the more commission. So what the consignee will do? To get the more commission, he will go to the market to market and sell the article at a higher price. When you go to higher price, more profit also goes to the consignor. Both are benefited. Who are benefited? Here, consignor also benefited, consignee also benefited. Consignor gets the more profit, consignee gets the more commission. Even the customer also benefited, because they will get the new product. So the three candidates are, one is the consignor, one is the consignee, one is the customer. Consignor gets the more profit, consignee gets the more commission, then customer gets the new product. All the three are benefited here. It is nothing but overriding commission. So which are the three commissions are? One is ordinary commission, Second is Dil Credar Commission. Number 3 is overriding commission. Overriding commission is a compensation payable by the consignor to the consignee for the work he has done. So he will sell the goods on behalf of at the risk of the consignor for a consideration. That consideration we called as commission. Then regarding the Dil Credar Commission, it is an extra commission payable by the consignor to the consignee. When this commission is paid by the consignor, if there is any bad debt, irrecoverable money from the consignee, when you make the credit sale, the particular customer becomes the debtor. We can give an example. Assume that here A is the consignor. He has got an agent called B. He sells the goods. 1, 2, 3. Cash, credit transaction worth of 20,000. So B is an agent. He sells the goods, number 1 in the form of cash, number 2 also in the form of cash, number 3 in the form of credit transaction. Out of 20,000, he already recovered 16,000. He could not recover 4,000. This is called the bad debt. So first, he receives the cash, no problem at all. Second, he receives the cash, no problem at all. In the third case, he sells the goods for 20,000 on credit transaction. How much already recovered? This is recovered. How much he could not recover? 4,000, which is called a bad debt. That loss should bear by consignee, not by the consignor, because this extra commission is payable by the consignor to consignee. This is what. So overriding commission is an extra commission payable by the consignor to consignee, so that he will get the more commission, giving encouragement to young consignee agents. Now he can go to market and sell at higher price, get the more commission. Even the consignor will get the more profit. Even the customer will get the new product is considered here, no? New product in the market. So this will come for 5 marks definite question in the examination. We'll move on. Now, goods sent on consignment. The goods consigned to the agent cannot be treated as sale at the time of consignment. They are treated as sales only when these are sold by the consignor. When the goods have been sent by the consignor to consignee, don't consider as a sale. It will reach to consignee. Consignee will make the sale. Then only we can say that the goods have been sold. When the goods have been sent by consignor to consignee, it is not at all a sale. It is only goods sent. It will reach to consignee. When the consignee makes the sale, then only we can say the goods have been sold by the consignee. Then account sale. So at the end of the transaction, he has to give the account sale. How much goods have been sold? How much advance have been given by him? What are the expense of the consignee? What will happen? I will give an example. If A is the owner, consignor, B is the consignee. A will sell the goods also, send the goods worth of rupees 1 lakh and met an expenditure of 20,000. What is the value of the goods sent? 1 lakh. What is the expenditure of A owner? 20. The cost of the goods is 1,20,000. Now it moves to B. So what the A says, you give some advance as a guarantee against the consignment, because I am sending goods worth of how much money? 1,20,000. You give as an advance in the form of a bill or in the form of a cash, whatever maybe you. So B give an advance of rupees 40,000 or 50,000. This is advance given by the consignee to consignor. When the transaction is over, this amount will be paid back by consignor to consignee. At the time of commencement, who will give the advance? Consignee will give the advance to consignor as a guarantee against the goods. When the transaction is over, the advance will be paid back by consignor to consignee. So 50,000 advance given by the consignee, and he met an expenditure of rupees 25,000. Then what is 1 lakh is the cost of the goods, 20,000 is the expense of the consignor, 25,000 is the expense of the consignee for the goods. The total cost become 1,45,000. He will make the sale for rupees 3 lakh. This is your sale, and 10% commission. So how it will work out, I'll show you. What is your cost of the goods? 1 lakh. What is the expense of the consignor? 20,000. This is the expense of consignor. Then it will reach to consignee. He will meet an expenditure of 25,000. This is the expenditure of consignee. This is the cost of goods, expense of consignor, expense of consignee on behalf of the consignor. And he will make the sale for 3 lakh. 3 lakh is the sale. He will get the commission of 10%. 10% of 3 lakh is 30,000. If you add the figure, no, this is 1 lakh 20, 1 lakh 40, 1 lakh 75,000. 1 lakh 75,000 is your cost paid. Sold for how much money? 3 lakh. Deduct 1 lakh 75,000. So 1 lakh 25,000 is your profit. Regular I'm saying. So 1 lakh is the cost of the goods. 20,000 is the expenses of the consignor. Then 25,000 expense of the consignee. 30,000 is the commission of the consignee. What's the total expenditure? 1 lakh 75,000. It has been sold for 3 lakh. So that they will get a profit of 1 lakh 25,000. This is a regular transaction. I'm simply saying. So what is 1 lakh? Cost of the goods. 20,000 expense of the consignor. 25,000 expense of the consignee, 30,000 commission of the consignee. It has been made a sale of rupees 3 lakh. The consignor get a profit of how much? 1 lakh 25,000. It's a regular transaction. Now, we'll go slowly, one by one. We go slowly like this. Now, here, how the account sale will be prepared. So, I'll show you. This is a gross sale. This is for 5 months. Definite question from the examination point of view. Definitely it will come. So this is what's called account sale sent by the consignee to consignor, showing the details of the sale. This is nothing but details of sales. Details of sale. Gross sale, sales made by consignee, less expenses, unloading charges of the consignee, selling expense of the consignee, commission of the consignee. All the three will be added here. From this figure, this will be deducted. Then total, less advance given by the consignee, that will be deducted. Whatever the balance comes, balance sent by consignee to consignor in the form of a check. So this is sales made by consignee, expense of the consignee, unloading and selling expense, expense of the consignee, commission of the consignee, the total we got. Then whatever the advance given by the consignee will be deducted. The balance will be sent by consignee to consignor in the form of a check. This is called account sale. A to Z sub, Srirangpatnam, and 31-3 sum. So this is prepared by whom? Consignee. This is prepared by consignee, showing the detail, sales they made, expense incurred by the consignee, commission incurred by the consignee, whatever the advance is given by the consignee, we have to pay back the balance amount we have got. No, this definitely will come from the examination point of view. It's a must. Be careful. This type of question definitely will come for 5 marks. You have to write the format. In examination now, they will ask the question, write the format of account sale made by consignee. So it's a format we have done. So we'll move on. Now this is a format of consignment. Here, who prevail? Consignor will prevail. Goods sent on consignment at invoice price. I will explain what is invoice price. Who will send? Consignor will send the goods to consignee. Then to bank account is the expenses met by consignor. To consignee account, here now, to consignee account, expenses met by the consignee on behalf of the consignor. To consignee account, commission of the consignee. Regarding this, leave it up, I will explain. So what is first one? Goods sent by consignor to consignee. to bank account expenses of the consignor, to consignee account expense of the consignee, to consignee account commission of the consignee. Now, leave this, I will explain. By consignee account, sales made by consignee. By accidental loss, if there is any accidental loss, how to calculate, I will show you. Is consignee. By closing stock, unsold stock. Stock reserve, I am going to explain. This I am going to explain. Goods sent on, that is I am going to explain now. Here, what will happen? No, if the cost of the goods is 100, consignee will sell the goods to 150. 100 is the cost price, 150 is the invoice price. For a consignee, he knows the cost itself is 150, but real cost is only 100, but he says the cost is 150. To goods sent on consignment, how much he shows? 150 here. What's the real cost? 100, he shows how much? 50. By stock reserve, how much extra? 50, you have to write it here. So this is nothing but invoice price minus cost price. Formula, invoice price minus cost price. What is your invoice price? 150. What's your cost price? Actually, you have to show 100. We are showing it how much? 150. How much showing more? 50. 50 have to rate. Same thing goes to closing stock. It will be invoice price. Then bring out the difference between invoice price and the cost price. The stock reserve will come. So what is invoice price? Cost plus profit is equal to invoice price. So he want to know the profit for the cost price only. But we are selling at invoice price. This should be converted to a cost price. What's your invoice price? 150. What's the real cost? 100. How much showing more? 50. You show it as a 50 here. So this will be under invoice price. Convert to a cost price, stock reserve. Invoice price minus cost price difference you have to show. I will show that when you are solving the problem, I show what is there. So you have to calculate the stock reserve for both goods sent on and a closing stock. So first one, goods sent on consignment, to bank account expense of consignor, to consignee account expense of consignee, to consignee account commission of consignee. Come back here. By consignee account, sales made by consignee. By accidental loss, how to calculate, I will tell you. Accidental loss, then by closing stock, by stock reserve, difference between invoice price. Whatever the difference comes, that difference is nothing but profit and loss account to consignor. Then, regarding the consignee account, we prepare. He will give an advance, we have to pay back. It may be bill or a check is there. Whatever when you make the sale, amount lies with whom? Assume that the consignment sales made by consignee, amount lies with whom? With the consignee assumption, sales made will be about 2 lakh. It is with whom now? Consignee. What he will do now? Consignor, he will deduct his advance. Assume that the advance is 40,000. And his expenses about 30,000. So, what is the sales made by consignee? 2 lakh, retained by consignee. What he will do now? He will deduct his advance, 40,000. He will deduct his expenditure. Then he will deduct the commission about 10%, means 20,000. Who will do? He says, sir, this total sales made is only 2 lakh. Shall I send the 2 lakh? So what the owner says, no, deduct your advance, deduct your expenses, deduct your commission. What is the total amount retained? 2 lakh. His expenses 40,000. Assumption 40,000. His advance is 40. It may be in the form of check or in the form of bill. It's advance given by the consignee to consignor at the beginning of the year. When the transaction is over, this advance given back by consignor to consignee. Then consignment account, expense of consigning. Then consignment account, commission of the consignee. Total how much you are called? 40 plus 3, 70 plus 2, 90 is there. How much left over? 1,10,000. This is a balance sent by consignee to consignor at the end of the transaction. What is the total amount? 2 lakh. So 40,000 advance have been paid back. His expense have been paid back, deducted. His commission has been given. Whatever the balance comes, 1,10,000, that is sent by consignee to consignor in the form of a bank overdraft. or in the form of a bank draft check signed. By whom? Consignee to consignor. Then here consignment account, here no. Here, if there is any loss, accidental loss, how to calculate while you're doing the problem? Then, if there is any consignment to place account, any loss, total loss we are going to receive. The total loss may be about 60,000. About the accidental loss, total loss is 60,000. You recover about 45,000 from insurance company. How much you could not recover? 15,000 is called abnormal loss. How to calculate while you are doing the problem? I will explain how to calculate this accidental loss. I am going to explain. What is the total loss? 60,000. How much money recover? 45,000. How much you could not recover? 15,000, which is called abnormal loss. So we'll move on. So this is a goods sent on consignment account. So consignment account, it's a invoice price. I told you it is 150. So stock reserve is 50. Difference is 100, which will enter into trading account. Invoice price is how much? 150. Stock reserve 50. 100 goes to trading account. One is the invoice price and the stock reserve is 50. Difference is 100. Really enter into business is only 100. So this you can understand while you are solving the problem. Now I will explain what about the commission, how to calculate the commission. So while you are solving the problem, I am going to explain how to calculate the closing stock, how to calculate the accidental loss. I am going to explain while you are solving the problem. Till then, I have explained everything now. You have to prepare this account. This is consignment account. Then you have to prepare consignee account. Then you have to prepare accidental loss account. Then you have to prepare goods sent on consignment account. It's all the necessary. So in the next class, while you are solving the problem, I am going to explain how to calculate the closing stock, how to calculate the accidental loss, how to calculate the goods sent on consignment. Till then, goodbye. Meet in the next class with a problem.